For each scenario below, choose the graph that gives the best representation. A. Susan is driving at a constant speed. Remember, in graph format, going up is increasing, going down is decreasing, and straight across is constant. She then slows down to pass an accident. After passing it, she goes back to her original speed and continues driving at that speed. So, notice where the problem starts. The problem does not say that Susan gets into her car and begins driving. We start mid-drive. So, looking at these graphs, I want to see where they start at. Notice your y-axis is speed, your x-axis is time. That means that the higher up you are on the vertical line, you're going faster. So, option A shows that Susan was already driving. I'll say she's driving 20 miles per hour. Option B says that we're starting with Susan not driving. She's stopped. She's at 0. Option C, she's driving, let's just say 10 miles per hour. And option D says she's driving maybe 20 miles per hour. Since we're saying that she's already driving, option B is already out. You can't start at the origin if you're already doing something. My next step is to see which one of these starts off with her driving constant speed. Remember, constant means a horizontal line. This one, option A, shows her driving horizontally. Option C shows her increasing her speed, it's raising on the y-axis. So option C is out. And option D shows her driving constantly. So I'm already down to 2 of my options, and that was my first sentence. My next sentence says she slows down next. Remember, slowing down means on your y-axis, you're going downwards. Option A, she's increasing speed, so that's out. So my answer has to be D, which makes sense because she slowed down and then she sped up after she got past the accident and then went back to her constant speed. Notice how if you play the elimination game with these type of problems, by the second sentence, you could already have your answer. So it's good to just kind of go through each graph as you're reading your sentence to see which one is automatically eliminated. So I know that for option A, it'll be D. For option B, a person is standing on the ground and throws a baseball onto a flat rooftop. Notice how my y-axis is the height of the ball. So, if I'm standing on the ground and I'm throwing a ball onto a flat rooftop, the ball will be increasing in terms of height. So, option A, I'm increasing, great. Option B, I'm constant, so it's automatically out. Option C, I'm increasing, great. Option D, I'm increasing, great. Notice how for this problem, I'm not saying option C is eliminated because it doesn't start at 0, because the height of the ball depends on where you're standing. My ground can be on top of a hill. And if I'm on top of a hill, the ball's height is already up. Next sentence. The ball rolls around for several seconds. The ball falls off the roof into a puddle of mud. So, the second sentence might seem like it doesn't do anything for this problem, but you have to think about it. Our x-axis is time, which means that for a time period, the ball is just rolling around. How do I know the height of the ball if it's rolling around? Well, if I'm on a flat rooftop and it's rolling around, it's not getting any higher or smaller. So I know that my second part should be constant, which this, and this all are. So all 3 of the graphs so far make sense. Once the ball finishes rolling around, it falls off the roof into a puddle of mud. When it falls off the roof, that means the height is going back down. So option A is going up, so that's out. Option C is going down, so that makes sense. Option D is going up, so that's out. So option C is in fact my correct answer. So if you learned anything from this, just play elimination with your graphs. Understand increase, decrease, and constant lines on the graph. A quick addendum, because this is the advanced choosing a graph, that I want to make sure that you're not getting confused at. For option A, Juan is hiking towards his campsite at a constant pace. As we said, constant is a straight line. However, it depends on what you're talking about. If you look at my y-axis, it's the distance to the campsite. So if I'm going towards the campsite at a constant pace, my distance will be going down. And so automatically, this would be my graph, because it's the only graph in which my distance from the campsite is going downwards. And it makes sense because a few minutes later, he sees the snakes and run away, which means he gets further away. And then he sits and rests a while. He's not getting any closer or further from the campsite. So watch your y-axes to understand exactly how to graph these things, and you'll have no problem.